waiting room on, but I guess I did. So we're gonna start in child's pose today. So I invite you to find a wide-legged child's pose. So you can bring your knees to the edge of the mat, big toes touch. Just gonna restart my music because it keeps me pumped up. All right. So again, knees out to the edge of the mat, big toes touch, sitting back on our heels, walking our hands forward, lowering our chest and our forehead to the mat here. And before we start to soften, I invite you to find a little bit of movement here. Just kind of wiggle everything out. You can move your arms where you need them to be. You can rock your forehead side to side. You can even rock your hips, just letting your hips just settle and open here for a few breaths. Beautiful. And then we're going to find some stillness here. And we're just going to start to focus on our breath. Maybe with each inhalation, we feel the back of our chest rise and fall. Maybe we can feel our belly rising and falling into our thighs. Trying to breathe in all four corners of our lungs here, really filling up. And with each exhalation, perhaps falling into this pose a little bit heavier here. Starting to let go of our day. Letting go of any tension you have inside of you. Really feeling how it feels to breathe into the back body. Beautiful. Couple more breaths here. I'm just gonna let Liz in. Beautiful.
Good morning.
Our child's pose here. We're gonna start to slowly wake ourselves up out of this. You can wiggle your fingers if you like. Beautiful. And then in our next breath, we're gonna walk our hands over to the left just slightly, maybe even just off your mat, as we really root our right hip down into our right heel, stretching out the right side body here, breathing into it. Beautiful. On our next exhalation, walking our hands back through midline and over to the right. This time, left hip down to the left heel, stretching out the side body here. And then on our next exhalation, walking our hands back through center, we're going to look straight ahead at our hands and we're going to press into our palms, making our way up into our tabletop. Again, remembering good alignment here, especially once we start to lift the weights. So fingertips spread nice and wide, wrists underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips here. Pressing gently just on the tops of our feet. Core is nice and strong, belly button into spine, crown of the head reaching forward. And then as we exhale, tailbone lifts, belly lowers, heart shining forward into our cow. Exhale, rounding into cat. And then inhaling forward into cow. And just flowing through this a few times here at your own perfect pace. Once again, inviting in any movement you need here. Whether you want to spiral this out, if you want to hold one pose a little bit longer than the other. Beautiful. One more round through here. And then finding center neutral tabletop here. We're going to warm up our shoulders. So in our tabletop, we're going to exhale our left arm open to the sky or open to the left. And then we're just going to gently thread it through here, just reaching out over to the right. We're not lowering anything down, just reaching out to the right here. Exhaling, twisting back open to the left. And then threading that through, really reaching with our left fingertips. One more time, inhaling up. Exhale, threading that arm through, really reaching with our fingertips. And then we're going to drop that left shoulder and left ear to the mat. Left arm is reaching through, right arm up. Can be fingertips cupped to the top right corner of our mat. It can stay beside your face, or you can wrap it around your low back in a half bind, whatever feels comfortable for you. Beautiful. And then on our next breath, right hand by our face, pressing into our palm and making our way back up into that neutral tabletop. You can find any movement you need before we do that on the other side. Beautiful. So meeting in neutral spine here, we're going to exhale our right arm open to the right, twisting open, and then reaching that right arm, threading it through our left wrist and our left knee. Reaching up, really opening up here, warming up our spine and our shoulder. One more time, inhaling up. And then exhale, really reaching through with those right fingertips as we lower our right shoulder, our right ear to the mat. Again, our left fingertips can be cupped to the left corner of the mat. They can stay by our face or wrapping around the low back in that half bind. Beautiful. On our next breath, left hand beside our face, pressing up back into our neutral tabletop. Beautiful. We're going to reach for a weight here. We'll reach for put it in front of our left hand. Can't talk yet. Still the morning, I guess. Beautiful. So finding our neutral tabletop here. We're going to exhale our right leg to the back of the mat. We can lift those toes off the mat if we're feeling comfortable here. And then reaching that left arm in front of us, spinal balance. Holding this for a couple of breaths, making sure our core is nice and strong, belly button into spine. And we're looking down and ahead onto our mat. So our neck is just an elongation of our spine here. Beautiful. On our next exhale, lowering that down. Beautiful. Exhale, our left toes to the back of the mat. You can lift that left leg up, toes flex towards our face, right arm extends if that feels okay. Again, pressing through that left palm. Beautiful. And then making our way back to a neutral tabletop. This time we're going to grab the weight with our left hand or whatever you have, keeping in mind you can always lower the weight at any time. You don't even need weights. Listening to your body, whatever feels good for you. Beautiful. So we're going to extend that right leg behind us, toes just gently flexed, and then our right arm extends forward. Palm is almost facing down here. And then as we exhale, we're going to round our knee in towards our chest, bringing our elbow up towards the sky, weight towards our chest. Exhale, reaching forward. 2 more times. Inhale, rounding in, bringing that elbow up to the sky. Last time here. Really reaching that elbow up. Exhaling out. And then we're going to lower that down gently here. We're going to bring that right weight into our weight into our right hand this time. Beautiful. We're going to exhale that left leg to the back of the mat, lifting it off the mat, flexing those toes, and then inhaling our right arm forward. And then as we exhale, rounding in knee to chest, elbow up to the sky, weight towards our chest. Exhaling forward, really rounding in here. Forward, last time. Rounding in, beautiful. Reaching out, and then we're gonna lower that down. We can move our weight off the mat here. You can find any little movement you need. And then we're gonna find our kneeling plank. So moving our feet, our knees behind our hips, shoulders over our wrists, fingertips spread nice and wide. Beautiful. We're one long line of the energy from the crown of the head to our tail. And we're just going to do our tricep push-ups. Now, if that is not in your practice, I invite you just to hold this, okay? Slight micro bend in your elbows, really protecting your elbows here, pressing your shoulder blades up to the sky. And then we're going to do 4 push-ups, and then we're going to hold the last one low. So here we go. We're going to exhale, lower halfway, elbows into ribs, lifting up. 1. Exhaling down. 2, 3, 4. And then this time we're going to hold it down and we're just going to pulse gently. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Pressing up and back, finding a child's pose. And you probably hate me already. Beautiful. We're going to inhale back up to tabletop and we're just going to warm up our glutes before we get moving as well. So finding tabletop here. Again, you can also go on fists instead of wrists. If your wrists are feeling a little uncomfortable, you can also roll your mat as well. So if it's comfortable for you, we're going to bring a weight behind our left knee, pressing that together here. Palms into the mat, core is nice and strong. We're going to tuck our left toes just gently to keep them flexed here. And then we're going to open up to the left, to that fire hydrant. And we're going to do this 10 times. So 2, and again, you can drop the weight at any time. You are still going to feel this. And the last one, we're going to hold up. So that's 6, if I can count right. 8, 9, 10, hold it up and gently pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Lowering that down. Beautiful. We're going to move that weight to the other side if that felt comfortable for you. Again, you do not have to use weights if it doesn't feel good. Beautiful. I'm going to go fists instead of wrists this time. We're going to tuck our right toes here. So we're holding that weight in. Core is into spine, or sorry, belly button into spine. Core is nice and strong. Are we ready? We're going to exhale that knee up to the sky like we're in a fire hydrant here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and hold it at the last time. 10, pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Beautiful. Bringing that down. We're going to bring the weight to the side of the mat. We're not going to use that for a few minutes here. Finding our tabletop here, fingertips spread nice and wide. We're going to tuck our toes, lift our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Really finding good alignment here in our downward facing dog, making sure we're pressing really hard into our fingers, almost like we're suction cupping them. So that the middle of our hand is lifting off the mat, protecting our wrists here. Knees can be as bent as much as you'd like them to be. We can pedal this out. You can rock your hips from side to side, whatever you need here. Beautiful. We're going to hold this for a couple of breaths. And then we're going to bend our knees and walk our feet to the top of the mat, finding our forward fold. Again, rooting that torso on the top of our thighs, bending our knees if we need to. Letting our head just hang here, heavy. Beautiful. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Hands on shins or thighs. Exhale, bending our knees, forward fold. We're going to inhale, roots ring through our feet, rising up to the sky. And exhaling to mountain. Beautiful. Taking a couple of sun breaths here, really welcoming in the sunshine today. Isn't it beautiful to see? We're going to inhale up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, really hinging at our hips there. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up. And exhaling, mountain. One more time, inhaling up. Exhale, hinging at our hips, bending our knees, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, bending our knees, rooting through our feet, rising up to the sky. And exhaling to mountain. Beautiful. So we're just going to go through 2 rounds of our flow. And remembering, we're not going to go into upward facing dog or cobra in either of these flows because we don't want to stretch out our core. We want to hold on to that core engagement till the end. So starting in mountain pose here, we're going to inhale up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to plant our hands, left foot to the back of the mat, high on the ball mound of that foot, or you can lower that knee. Right knee is over our ankle, rising up. Beautiful. Exhale, folding forward, planting our hands, right foot meets left, downward facing dog or child's pose. And we're going to inhale, float forward like a wave to our plank or our kneeling plank. We're going to bend our elbows into ribs, lowering halfway, then lifting back up to our plank or kneeling plank, hiking our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhaling our right leg to the sky, bringing that knee towards our chest as we bring our foot between our hands, rising up. Beautiful. Exhale, folding forward, planting our hands, bending that left knee, left foot meets right, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up. And exhaling, mountain. One more time, inhaling up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, planting our hands, right foot to the back of the mat this time. You can lower that knee, rising up. Beautiful. Exhale, hinging forward, planting our hands, left knee meets, or left foot meets right, downward facing dog or child's pose. Inhaling like a wave, forward to plank or kneeling plank, shoulders over wrists. Exhale, elbows into ribs, lowering halfway, inhaling back up, hinging our hips up and back, downward facing dog. Left leg to the sky, really rounding in as we bring that knee towards our chest and through between our hands, rising up, crescent lunge. Beautiful. Exhale, folding forward, bending that right knee, right foot meets left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up, and exhaling to mountain. We're just going to do a gentle opening here. Inhaling up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, planting our hands, stepping back to downward facing dog. Inhaling our right leg to the sky. Really rounding in as we bring that foot in between our hands. Rising up, crescent lunge. Opening up to the side, warrior two. Finding our alignment here. Right palm reaches up a little, reach forward, exalting our warrior. Exhaling forward, warrior two. Pivoting that left foot, circling this left arm around, crescent lunge. Exhale, folding forward, planting our hands, stepping back, downward facing dog. Beautiful. We're going to inhale forward like a wave to plank or a kneeling plank. Whichever one we're in, shoulders over wrists, really pushing through our palms here. And we're going to bring our knee to chest one at a time, right and left. A really slow mountain climber here, really engaging our core, warming everything up. If you weren't warm by now. Beautiful. And one more on each side. Beautiful. Hinging our hips up and back. Downward facing dog. Left leg reaches high this time, really rounding in, bringing that left foot between our hands, rising up, crescent lunge. Pivoting that right foot, opening up, warrior two. Left palm reaches up a little, reach forward, exalting our warrior. Making our way back to warrior two. Pivoting that left foot, circling this right arm around, crescent lunge. Exhale, folding forward, bending that right knee, right foot meets left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up. And exhaling to mountain. Beautiful. Finding mountain pose here for a breath. You can grab a sip of water. All right. Oh, here we go. So we're going to safely grab our weights here, bending our knees just gently, pulling the weights into our heart center and rising up. So I'm going to face you for instruction. And we're going to start in chair with an overhead press to a side squat. So
We're gonna start with our palms facing forward, waist about at our shoulders here, elbows pointing to the ground. We're gonna find a narrower squat. So hips about, or feet about hips distance apart here. We're gonna lower our hips into that chair squat. And then as we rise up, we're gonna lift our right knee up, arms up overhead, bringing that right foot out to the side, lunging in, back down, lifting that right leg up, back down to middle, lowering down, weights at our shoulders, overhead press, out to the side, lower. Beautiful, really focusing on form here. And we're gonna do this 4 times on each side. So lowering down, this is 1, lifting that right leg up, lowering in the middle, overhead press, out to the left. Inhaling up. This really builds endurance too. So this is 2. Don't hate me yet. I know you can do this. Back to middle, overhead press, out to the left. 2 more. Beautiful. Again, you can drop your weights at any time. Even though we're using lower weights, you really feel the isometric movements much faster. This is the last one through. Beautiful. Rising up. And then we're going to hold our chair, bringing our weights towards our chest. Beautiful. Again, feet can be hips distance apart or closer together, whatever feels good for you. And we're going to pulse our hips down, making sure this pulse is coming from your hips and not your knees. Beautiful. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold it here and do our toe tap side to side. If you have to come out of this, come out of this, and then just meet us again. But I know you can do it. After all, you all signed up for this. Ha-ha. Beautiful. 2 more times on each side. Beautiful. And then safely rising up, finding our mountain pose. Beautiful. So we're going to reach our left leg back first, hands still at our heart center. Lunging into that front leg. So right knee is over our right ankle. Beautiful. If it feels okay, we're going to lift our arms up to the sky in our crescent lunge. Beautiful. Bringing our hands back to heart center. Now you might want to find a closer lunge here. So don't be all the way out here. Find a nicer, closer lunge because we are going to lunge that left knee down. We're going to bring our arms up to either side. Weights are just like we're in a goal post here. So weights are above our elbows. And then we're going to lower that left knee as we bring our elbows together. Inhaling to lift. Doing this 8 times. That was 2 already. 3, 4, 5. And last one. Beautiful. We can take a break here, bring our hands to our heart center if you like. Perhaps rolling our shoulders back and down. Again, you can drop the weights at any time. We're going to inhale our arms up to the sky, if that's available for you. And then as we exhale, we're going to hinge forward, slowly bringing our arms back, finding our airplane arms, palms facing down, really squeezing our shoulder blades together here. Exhaling them back up to the sky, nice and slow. So we really feel the weight and we're not just moving with momentum. Inhaling, tipping forward, squeezing those shoulder blades together, palms facing down. Last one here. Beautiful. And then we're going to hold this airplane, palms facing down, squeezing our shoulder blades together. And we're going to pulse up, just gentle pulses here. 4 more. 2, 3, 4. Beautiful. Rising up. Hands to heart center. We're really going to put all of our weight into this right foot. We're going to tap the left foot in and back. 2, That right glute should probably be screaming right now. 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. Rising up out of that. We're going to gently bring our waist to the mat and just find a cleansing breath before we make it to the other side. So we're going to inhale up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Again, find a little bit of movement here if you want. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rising up. And exhaling. Mountain. Beautiful. Finding that on the other side. I need some water. So we're going to bend our knees, safely grab our weights here. Bringing our hands to heart center. Rooting into our left foot, right foot back this time, finding our lunge. Beautiful. If it feels okay, reaching up to the sky, or you can keep your hands at heart center, whatever feels good for you. Remember listening to your body. Always remember the way we listen today and the way we practice today helps us to practice for the rest of our lives. We don't want to injure ourselves. Beautiful. We're going to bring our hands back to heart center. And this time, elbows into ribs, palms facing each other. We're going to lower that right knee as we bring our elbows up in line with our shoulders. And then bringing the elbows back towards our body. 2, 3, 4, 5, a little wobbly on this side, 6, 7, and last one. Beautiful. Hands to heart center. Making sure that left knee is still over our ankle. Rising up here. Again, you can lower your weights if you need to. We're going to exhale, hinge forward, bringing our hands back to that airplane arms, squeezing our shoulder blades together, palms facing down. Inhaling back up. Exhaling forward, palms facing down. Last one here, and then we're going to hold it. Palms facing down, squeezing those shoulder blades together, and gently pulse up. Nice tricep pulse here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Bringing our hands to heart center, rooting into that left foot, tapping this right foot in. In and out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Bringing that in and rising up out of that. Beautiful. I don't know about you, but I'm sweaty already. Beautiful. Hands still at heart center here. We're going to reach our left foot back, finding our warrior 2 stance. So again, you can find heel to heel, arch alignment, or you can go a little bit wider here, whatever feels good for you. Right knee is over our ankle. Palms facing towards the left. So palms facing out, not up right now. Elbows are bent, really protecting those elbows. Then we're going to bring our left hand to our left thigh, reaching up our right arm. Exalting our warrior here without that lateral bend. Beautiful. Exhaling back out. Warrior 2. Bringing our hands to heart center. We're going to hinge forward. We're going to place our right arm on that right thigh. We can reach this weight to the bottom or whatever you have, or you can drop the weight as well. We're not going to be using this right one, but you can use it almost like a block or a prop here, or your right hand can go on your right knee. Beautiful. So we're going to hinge forward. We're going to twist forward. So our chest is facing towards the mat. And then we're going to do a row. We're going to bring that right elbow in towards our body, twisting open, keeping that elbow towards our body, opening that weight up to the left. This is a lawnmower pull. Twisting back, forward, reaching down. So moving with a little bit quicker here. 2, opening up. Really working the back, the obliques. Our legs are turned on. This is why I love yoga with weights, because we're actually using every single muscle in your body in each exercise. And now that I'm talking, I've lost count. So we're just going to do 2 more. Really reaching down, pulling that elbow up to the sky, opening up, using our obliques. And last one. Opening up here. Beautiful, hinging forward. We're gonna bring that left weight safely to our heart center. We can grab that right weight, lifting it up, making our way back, warrior two. Opening that up, left hand by our left hip, right arm reaches up. Beautiful. Hands to heart center, straightening this right leg, finding our goddess squat here. And we're gonna lower that down, making sure we're really pressing our knees to the back of the mat here. Hands can just be on our hip creases, holding the weights there. And we're just gonna lift up and down into a nice wide squat here. 2. And 2 more, and then we're gonna hold it down. Last one, hold it here. Beautiful. We're gonna lift both heels off the mat, but if that's not available to you, you can keep your knees or your heels on the mat, or you can lift one heel up and then the other. If not, we're gonna hold that up for shoulders back and down. Spine is nice and tall. 4, 3, 2, 1, and then gentle pulses here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. Lowering those heels. We're going to rise up out of our legs here for a second. You can shake that out. Beautiful. Shoulders back and down. Lowering our hips once again. We're going to find those lateral raises again. So palms facing towards us. Weights just gentle in front of our pelvis here. Keeping our arms straight, but a slight micro bend in our elbows. We're going to lift our hands up towards our shoulders, in line with our shoulders, and back down. And again, if your weights are too heavy, you can either drop them or you can lift one arm up and then the other. Beautiful. Let's do 4 more of these. 2, 1. Beautiful. Bringing our hands to heart center, rising up out of that. We're going to pivot that right foot and the left foot, finding warrior 2 again. Again, opening up, palms facing open, elbows bent. Left knee is tracking over our left ankle. Right hand by our right hip, left arm just reaching up here. Beautiful. Hands to heart center, opening up, warrior 2. Bringing your hands back to heart center. Right hand is going to stay with our heart center. Left arm bending on the top of our left thigh. Again, we can use our left weight as a prop here. And we're going to reach this right arm forward, twisting our chest towards the mat, bringing that left elbow up, opening up, and then opening up that elbow. Elbow stays right in beside our rib cage there as we open up. Lawnmower pose. 2, 3, 4, 5. Beautiful. 6. 2 more. And the last one. Beautiful. Bringing that hand to heart center. We're going to grab that left weight, bring them up to heart center. Warrior 2. Arms open. Right hand by our right hip, left arm extending. Beautiful. Bringing our hands to our heart center. We're going to straighten that left leg. We're going to heel toe in. And we're going to make our way to the top of the mat. You can drop your weights here for a second or two if you want to take a sip of water. We're probably going to go a few minutes over time. So if you do have to leave at 12:15, you can just hop on out if you like. Beautiful. So finding our mountain pose here, we're going to safely grab our weights again. So we're going to hinge at our hips, bending our knees, grabbing our weights, reaching them up. Really rooting into our right heel here. We're going to bring our left knee up into stork pose. Left toes are flexed. We're going to bring our palms forward, palms facing up. Elbows are staying into our side body here. And we're just going to twist our arms open to the right and the left and then back into center. Opening them up and then in. Really making sure that our elbows stay beside our body the entire time. Beautiful. 2 more here. And last one. Beautiful. Bringing our hands to heart center. We're gonna reach this left foot back, hinging at our hips, finding our warrior three. Again, remembering our toes can go on the mat as well. Beautiful. Slight micro bend in that right leg. Arms down, weights down, palms facing each other. And we're gonna just do 4 rows here. So we're gonna inhale our elbows, oops, lost my balance. Elbows all the way up to the sky and down. 2, 3, 4, holding our elbows up here. So our elbows are into our ribs. And we're gonna do 4 tricep kickbacks. So reaching our arms out straight and then back in. 2, 3, 4. Beautiful, hands to heart center. We're gonna reach our weights out in front of us like they're 2 props. And we're gonna find our standing split. So reaching that left leg up to the sky, forehead to knee. And we're gonna go do 3 of those Jiva squats that Kate loves. So we're gonna bend that right knee, bringing our left knee by our right shin, and then back up. 2. Last one. 3. Lifting up. Beautiful, hold it for a breath. Left leg meets right. Letting go of those weights, finding that forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up. And exhaling, mountain. Beautiful, finding that on the other side. Bending our knees, grabbing our weight safely, back up to heart center. Rooting into our left foot this time. Right knee up towards our chest, flexing those right toes, elbows into our side body, palms facing up, and just opening up and closing here on this side. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, last one, 8. Beautiful, hands to heart center. We're gonna hinge at our hips, reaching this right foot back this time. Warrior 3, again, your toes gonna be on the mat. Slight bend in that left leg. Weights out in front of us, palms facing each other. Bringing that up to a row here, elbows up to the sky. Lowering down, 2, 3, last one. Really reaching our elbows up to the sky and finding those tricep kickbacks. So straightening our arms out and back in. Hinging at our elbows here. Elbows into our side body. Last one. Beautiful. Lowering those weights, or you can use them as a prop if you like. Standing split, right? Like reaching high, forehead to knee. And then 3 of those squats. Lunging gently into that left knee, right knee behind our left shin, and back up. 2, and up, and last one. And up, holding this standing split. And then right foot meets left, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, rooting down, rising up. And exhaling, mountain. Beautiful. We're going to inhale all the way up to the sky. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. We're going to plant our hands and we're just going to make our way into tabletop and then into seated. We're going to bring our weights with us. Beautiful. Just laying them out on the side of the mat. And we're going to safely roll down onto our backs. And we're going to find a bridge pose. Now, bridge pose with weights, you don't want your heels in so close because we want to protect our knees. Just making sure that our feet are hips distance apart and our knees are pointing straight ahead. So finding what's comfortable for you. And then if it feels okay, safely grabbing our weights here, placing them on our hip creases. Beautiful. Really rooting in, taking a nice big breath. And then as we exhale, lifting our hips up to the sky. And then we're going to lift our heels off the mat if that feels comfortable for you. And then we're going to lower and lift, not letting our bum go all the way down, just almost down, hovering. Beautiful. And 4 more, and then we're going to hold it at the top. 3, 2, last one. Hold it at the top. Slight pulses here, pulsing up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Beautiful. We're going to slowly roll that down one vertebrae at a time, lowering our heels to the mat. Beautiful. We're going to find a fly with a bridge pose. So we're going to bend our elbows, and then we're going to bring our arms up over our chest, palms facing each other, elbows stay bent the entire time in a reverse fly. And then you can stay here and open up to the side, this chest fly. Or you can lift your hips up off the mat just slightly, not in a full bridge pose, but just engaging our glutes at the same time. So we're going to do 8 of these. So we're going to open and close, not letting our weights fall to the ground, elbows bent the entire time, bringing them back up above our chest. Beautiful. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Bending our elbows, bringing those weights safely down, lowering our hips here. And we're going to find one more core exercise, and then we'll stretch that out. So legs are going to be in tabletop. So shins parallel to the mat, knees are over our hips. We're going to bring our weights overhead. Now you can drop one weight and just use one weight for this, whatever feels good for you. Really pressing those weights together though. So if you have 2 weights or whatever you have, really pressing them together. And then as we exhale, you have one of 2 options. I'll show you first. You can toe tap from side to side, or you can reach your leg out from side to side while we're doing an overhead press. So whatever feels good for you. So finding the leg variation you'd like. We're going to inhale here, making sure our low back stays rooted on that the entire time. We're going to exhale our right leg out or toe tapping that right knee, lifting our arms up overhead, not letting them touch the ground, inhaling back up to center. Beautiful. Other side, reaching up, back to center. Really reaching up, toe tapping down or reaching that leg out. Beautiful. Beautiful. Low back really rooted on the mat. 2 more times on each side. You can drop your weight at any time if you like. Last time on either side. Beautiful. Ooh, beautiful. We're going to safely bend our elbows, bringing our weights down, lowering our feet. We can just let our weights go to either side of our mat here, hugging our knees in if that feels good, and rocking that side to side. Beautiful. Beautiful. Keeping that left knee hugged in, we're going to reach that right leg out long, flexing those right toes towards our face. Beautiful. On our next breath, reaching that left leg out long, arms up overhead, using a nice big reach stretch here, really stretching under our core, really reaching long through our fingers and our toes. And then as we exhale, hugging the right knee, and this time left toe is just gently flexed. Beautiful. One more big reach stretch here, reaching that right leg out long, reaching up overhead. Beautiful. And then hugging in the knees one at a time, just for a breath. And then lowering our feet to the mat. And we're going to find that figure 4 stretch. So crossing our right ankle below our left knee, right toes are flexed, really externally rotating this right knee, pressing it forward. And again, this might be enough stretch for you. If you'd like to add on a little bit more, you can hug that left knee in towards our chest, just making sure our shoulders are on the mat. Beautiful. On our next breath, we're going to lower that left knee to the mat, keeping our legs in this figure 4. We're going to bring our arms into cactus or T. And then as we exhale, we're going to drop that left knee and our right foot over to the left. Again, both shoulders are rooted, stretching out our IT band here and our leg. Nice twist here. Beautiful. Inhaling back to center. We're going to uncross our right leg, and then we're going to windshield washer that out from side to side. Beautiful. Knees back to center, finding that on the other side. So crossing our left ankle below our right knee, left toes flexed, pressing that left knee away. And then if it feels good, hugging that right knee in. Beautiful. On our next breath, lowering out of that. Right foot is planted, keeping our legs as they are, arms in cactus or T. And then dropping out over to the right, letting that left foot and right knee relax. Falling open here. Beautiful. Inhaling back to center, uncrossing our legs, and windshield washing that out from side to side. Finding our breath again. Beautiful. We're going to find happy baby or dead bug pose, a well-deserved happy baby here. So we're going to hug our knees towards our chest. We're going to open our knees up towards our armpits. Hands can stay on the back of our thighs if that feels good. We'd like to add on, we're going to reach to the inside of our legs, grabbing the outside of our soles of our feet, really pressing our hands into our feet, feet into hands, like we're pulling our knees towards the ground. Tailbone stays rooted on the mat, really opening up here. A well-deserved stretch. Beautiful. On our next breath, we're going to bend our knees. We're going to close that up like a book. And then we're going to reach our feet to either corners of the mat, arms on either side of our body. Final resting pose, Shavasana. And we're going to take a nice big inhale through the nose, filling up our belly, our ribs, and our chest. And exhale, really sigh it out. Let it all go. Beautiful. And just finding your breath for a few moments to relax, to restore, and to rejuvenate. And if it feels good for you, I invite you to start to slowly wake yourself up, knowing that you can stay in Shavasana as long as you like, if that's where it serves you. You can wiggle your toes and your fingers if that serves you. You can expand your movements, rolling out your wrists and your ankles. And then finding any other movement that you need to bring yourself back to waking consciousness here. Whether that's a big reach, stretch, knees to chest, giving yourself a big hug.
And then in your next few breaths, bending your knees, placing your feet on the mat, reaching your right or your left arm over your head and rolling over onto your right or your left side body. And then pressing through your palm and making your way up into seated lotus pose, whatever that looks like for you. Beautiful. And taking one last beautiful breath together here. We're going to inhale all the way up to the sky, really gathering in all that beautiful fresh energy. And then exhaling it all the way down to our heart center in gratitude. Thank you so much for joining me again this week. The love and the light in me truly sees and honors the love and the light in each of you. Namaste.
That was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thanks, ladies.
Thank you. It was great. Have a great week.
You too. See you Wednesday.
Yep.
Thank you.